We'll start with prayers. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dharane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpa श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा. Thanks for joining today's call. I think this is a the vacation weekend. So we'll close the call short, for half an hour. We will just have this call. Okay. All right. So today I will wanted to go through. Okay. Yeah. Let me. Which one is this again? Sorry. This one. No, not this one. Okay. Which one did I start? Sorry. Okay. The second one. Okay. So today I will just go through the Puranas. No, we went through the Puranas. That Puranas are also we have in how many? How many ways are there Puranas? We have 18 Puranas, and each there are three modes of nature: Rajogun, Sattvagun, and Tamogun. Okay. So and each of the Puranas are classified into one of these three. Okay. And here it is mentioned that these are the Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda. It is mentioned that Vishnu Purana, Narada Purana, Bhagavad Purana, Garuda Purana, Padma Purana, Varaha Purana. These are all Satvika Puranas. Okay. Then Brahmanda Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Markandeyam, Bhavishyam Vamanam Brahmam, they are all Rajasika. Okay. Then Matsya Kurma Lingam, Shiva, Skandam, Agneyam, that's Agni Purana, they're all Tamasic Puranas. Right? So you see the next verse which says Satvika Mokshada Prokta. Satvika Puranas, they give moksha. Rajasika Puranas, Sarvada Shubha Ashubha. So it will give you positive, but you will still remain on this material world. Tathaiva Tamasa Devi, Shiva is telling this. What is that? Tathaiva Tamasa Devi. Devi is Durga or Parvati. Niraya Prapti Hetavaha. Niraya means your hellish planet. Okay. So Tamasa, That means tamasic. Tamasic Puranas, they will lead to hellish planets. Okay. So now, right, 1 minute. Oh, what happened? All of them are okay. Let me take you to the Srimad Bhagavata Purana. Narada's instruction, appearance of Narada. Let's see. Okay. One question. Okay. You can unmute yourselves. So, one question I want to ask everyone is, will knowledge lead to happiness or no?
Yes.
Yes, right. So the source of your unhappiness or the source of the problems is right. Why I'm suffering? I'm suffering because of some illness, maybe the stomach ache or food poisoning because I have taken wrong food. Okay, I'm associating with the wrong persons, again due to lack of knowledge. So if you have knowledge, then automatically you're supposed to increase the happiness. So now the question is, in the last 100 years, say in 1900s, has the knowledge increased or decreased? In last 100 years, knowledge increased or decreased? What happened? Yeah, whether it increased or decreased?
Increased?
Increased.
Knowledge is increased, okay. If knowledge is increased, what about happiness?
Decreased.
Happiness is decreased. Then that means something is wrong.
Yeah.
See, if knowledge is increased, how come happiness is decreased? It should not. That means
It depends on the kind of knowledge that whatever the increment, the kind of knowledge, it depends on that also, right?
kind of knowledge. Okay, yeah, I'm coming there. So it's kind of knowledge, Mataji said. That is right. So the point is, there are two options. Either one is the knowledge is wrong. Okay, it's a wrong knowledge. Is wrong. And what is the other thing? Is the knowledge that increased is incomplete. Can you say whatever the knowledge that in last 100 years we gained, it is wrong? Can we say this? Is it wrong knowledge?
It's not entirely wrong knowledge, but
Correct.
how we are utilizing, how we are basically implementing that whatever we learn is changed
Correct. So
because of so many distractions.
right, so many distractions came and all those things came. So what in the last 100 years you see, we or 150 years you see, we had planes. In the previous yugas, if someone had to have the plane, only the yogis can do it. Okay, not anyone else. In that varnashrama system, I said, right, na brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, none of them can get into a plane until unless there is a yogi involved and the yogi creates a plane. But now, like, anyone can, it doesn't matter what your caste, creed, all you have with money, you can get into the plane. So the knowledge has increased. Now you see this right now. We all have TVs. I'm conducting these calls. It's online. All of you are able to see. This wasn't there 150 years ago. Just no, leave 150, 100, last 10, 15 years ago, even before that, this wasn't there. But in spite of all this increase in material knowledge, there is still immense unhappiness. The suicide rate has gone up. You know, in 50 years ago, just 50 years ago, no need to go too much. If someone is going to a psychiatrist in India, I would say, our senior devotees, you always used to say, nobody knew that there is a profession called psychiatry. If someone is going to psychiatrist, he must be a mental. But now the psychiatrists have, it's increased because imbalance. People are becoming mad. So the material knowledge has increased. Definitely, no doubt about it. Material knowledge has increased. We have, what is AI coming in. You see, if you call any Amazon, any customer services, you have their responses there right on your phone. This wasn't there like 2 decades ago. None of these things were there. So material knowledge has increased. But why unhappiness is the only reason that acharyas, they all say, is that knowledge is incomplete. There is material knowledge is fine, but apart from material knowledge, you must also have the spiritual knowledge. When you do not have the spiritual knowledge, how much ever you get material knowledge, it doesn't matter. You may have the best of the best things in the world, all the money you may have, all the knowledge you may have, still the person will be unhappy. Okay, so the happiness is always tied to the spirit, to the soul. So when I say incomplete, material knowledge is there, but what was the lacking? The spiritual knowledge. When you have the spiritual knowledge, what is the first thing you will feel? Tell me, when you get the spiritual knowledge, what will happen? First
We
thing
can
that will
make out
happen.
the real happiness.
Sorry, say that again.
We can make out the real happiness.
Okay. Yes, you know what is the real happiness. That is right.
Yeah.
Then
We'll know the actual path of happiness. So less
right.
greed, those kind of
Oh,
things. We'll
correct.
come to know.
Okay, less greed. Okay. Madamatsarya, moha, and all of those comes. Yes, I will explain that. Yeah. Then what happens? The first thing that happens the moment you get spiritual knowledge,
We'll feel complete.
you'll feel complete. Okay. The first thing that happens is whatever the doubts you have, they get clarified.
Yeah.
Right after that, what you get, you'll get, first of all, satisfaction. Previously, when you were in the material life, satisfaction is based on your 5 senses, or sorry, 8 senses. Where was that? Sorry, this one, right? These 8 senses. Happiness is based on these 8 senses. If I'm not getting any food, what will happen? Immediately I'll get angry. Oh, why I'm not getting it? Anger comes. The Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that how anger comes. Anger comes when your senses are not satisfied. The moment senses are not satisfied, first thing that comes is anger. Ego, false ego. Someone is shouting at you. Ego will come. Oh, how can he, talk to me like that? If it is a bona fide spiritual master, then we must always be like a humble servant in front of a guru. So normally, okay, one more thing I want to say. You know what is the root of the sin? What is the root of a sin?
Greed.
Greed. Okay. Greed. Okay. What else? How one can perform sins? See, one thing is
It's
clear. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
pride.
Pride, greed. Okay. 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 So let's say first understand the sin. So what do you mean by sin? What is
Doing
this?
something wrongful.
Something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Something wrong. So who will tell me what is wrong and what is right?
Few things we will only get to know that what we are doing is wrong or right.
Mm-hmm.
Few things other will say
Some-
sometimes.
Okay. I'll give an example. Suppose in a village or in a very remote town, someone is doing prasadam distribution or annadanam, we say, right? That family is doing annadanam. That one family in their home, they do annadanam. All right, they're doing some punya karma, we say. Imagine if there is one thief that is who has come, and this person is feeding him continuously for a few days, and that thief, after a week or so, after eating from the same house, he robs this house and he robs the entire street also. Then how about the sins? The person who is giving annadanam, can we say that he has committed sins?
No.
No.
No, he has committed sin, Prabhu.
Exactly. But he does not know why. Unknowingly, he has what? Energized that person by which he has committed those sins. So if someone is committing, and who will know this basically? Um, Something wrong means, you see, as Lem Prabhupada used to give this example, you have in a hospital, there are so many patients, and for each patient, there is a different kind of treatment that is given. And for one patient, a specific instruction is do not eat anything. Do not eat. Keep your stomach empty. Because some operations have to be done and all. So, but if you feel, oh, so his pap, oh, like, let me give some food. Then what happens? It's in the eyes of a doctor, it is a wrong act. But you might think, oh, I'm doing the correct act. So similarly, it doesn't matter what is wrong to what we feel and what is right we feel. No, it doesn't. Laws may work, okay? When there is a state law, when there is a country's laws, they put on the laws, right? This, if you do this, you will be rewarded. If you do like this, you'll be punished. Similarly, there is a law of God. And what is that law book? Is nothing but our Vedas, our scriptures. That is a manual for us. So in those manuals, if they mention that this is a sin, then that's a sin. If this is punya, it's a punya. Okay. So once we come to a sattva guna stage, right? Sattva guna stage, then yes, because we are already in sattva gunam, what happens is whatever we feel, our feeling, thinking, willing, everything will be in the mode of goodness in sattva guna. We will always do those things. But some persons who in tamasic, they won't even realize that what they're doing is wrong. So someone to do wrong activities, generally I'm talking about, generally, okay, except the thieves. The general thing, if someone wants to do wrong thing, it is, what is a root for this is because that person's had some pious deeds. So see, suppose a person has punya, what happens? What is the result of being punya?
Good things will come if you do anything.
Example?
Um, if that person steals also, if he has punya, so he will not caught by the police.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. He'll not get caught. Okay. But what is the first what do you call expression? The moment he is punya, you will know that okay, this person has a punya. First thing, when you have punya, something happens. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that you will get money. Okay, you will get money. You will be the moment you have money, you will be considered in the upper classes. Okay, materially I'm talking about. Okay, nothing to do with spiritual, but spiritual classes is totally different. Okay, it does not matter whether the person has money or not. But on the material platform, if someone has money, he's considered to be an upper class. So then he the moment he is in money, what happens? He get comforts, right? Along with the comforts, what will happen when he get accustomed to it? He'll get pride. And slowly what will happen? Sense gratification. That means all his senses should always be satisfied. All the 6, 7, 8 senses I'm talking about, including mind, intelligence, and false ego. If to the proprietor or the CEO you say, oh, you are wrong, he will not like it. If a servant in the home is coming out to and telling to the master, you are wrong, he will not like it or she will not like it. Why? Again, the false ego. False ego takes over intelligence. Okay. So the moment sense gratification doesn't happen, then anger comes out. Okay. If that doesn't happen, from anger, you will start doing something lame. So the point is, when you have the punya, the punya is actually the root of a sin. So something wrong you want to do, for example, tell me some wrong activities apart from stealing. Tell me what are the wrong sinful activities. Tell me.
Saying bad, shouting or saying some bad things or cursing others.
Okay, cursing others. Okay, cursing others. Then what are the sinful activities?
Selfishness.
Selfishness.
The act of selfishness. Basically, you being selfish and you don't want others to gain any knowledge, or like, say for example, in office, if you
Enviousness.
are
Hmm. Enviousness.
basically envy,
Jealousy and all that.
jealous, yeah.
Okay. What else?
Cheating people.
Cheating people. Very good. Cheating. Then
Yeah, there can be many more, like
Eating food without offering to Krishna. Prabhu.
okay. Yeah, that is there basically. So what Bhagavatam says, the primary sinful activities are these 4. Okay. What is that? Meat eating. Okay. Gambling. Intoxication. That is drinking alcohol and all that. And illicit relations. These are the 4 pillars of sinful life. I'll show you that verse 1 minute. Okay. Actions by sages. Son of Drona. How Parikshit received the age of Kali. This one, these two. Okay. 1 minute. What is this one? Just punishment and reward of Kali. Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, okay, I'll tell you the background story. So this is in the beginning of Kali Yuga. Okay. Parishit Maharaj, he is a grandson of who?
Pandavas,
Yes, of
Arjuna.
Arjuna's. So, and he was ruling this planet very piously. As per the rules prescribed in the Shastras, he was ruling it. And one day, what happened? He, they go on Dandayatra. That means they keep visiting all the places across the globe. Okay, and as he was doing it, he found that there's one person looking like a Rakshas, very ferocious man. He was killing the bull. Immediately, Parikshit Maharaj was ready to kill him. At that time, he chastised, and that person was none other than Kali Purusha. See, in our Shastras, right, there is a personality behind every energy. See, for rivers, how we have Ganga, Yamuna, there is a personality behind it. Like we have both personalism and impersonalism. Like government is what? Impersonalism. But there is a person behind it. Like there is a president for traffic and all these roads. There is a traffic, the board, transportation board. For everything, there is a person behind it. But energy is impersonal. So like that, for every you see, like cities, every city has a one devi or devata, okay, who normally predominates, the ruling of that city, she or he takes care. Similarly, we have Vayu, Varuna, behind all of these rains and wind, there is a personality behind it. Similarly, for yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Kali Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, there is a personality behind it. Similarly, there is a personality behind it for every month. Like we have Kartika, Mrigashirsha, Phanguni, all of these different months, there is a personality behind it. If you go even further, like detail level, Ekadashi, there's a personality behind her. There's a huge pastimes. Day after tomorrow is Ekadashi, those who are in Dallas area. So I know on that day I can explain the pastimes of Ekadashi. There's a personality behind that day. There's a who is ruling, So like that, Kali Purusha was appeared there in front of Parikshit Maharaj in that ferocious person, and he had already cut the 3 legs of the bull. Only one leg the bull was standing, and immediately Parikshit Maharaj came there and started chastising. He said he's going to kill. Then Kalipurusha says, I'm just giving you a summary, okay? So Kalipurusha said, see, I'm also a creation by the Lord. Right? This Kali Yuga is given. I'm also, I was also asked to take care of this. And in this Yuga, these are, normally I have to make the people's life miserable. So you tell me where I should stay. Because anywhere I go, you will come and you will kill me. You tell me those places where I will go and stay and you will not disturb. Okay. Then Parikshit Maharaj gives those places. And then you see, Amuni Panchasthanani hi adharma prabhava kalihi autareyena dattani anyavasat tan nideshakrit. Personality of Kali by the directions of Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Uttara, was allowed to live in those 5 places. What are those 5 places? We'll see. Moving to the previous one. Okay. Let's see. Okay, see this one. Suta Ovach, Suta Goswami is telling all the story. So when Kalipurusha asked, Abhyartitas, Abhyartitas means petition or after requesting, Tada Tasmai, Sthanani Kalaye Dadav. Sthanani means what? Places given by Kali Yuga. Dadav means to give. What are those? Dyutam, Panam, Striyaha, Suna. Yatra dharmaschaturvidhaha. 4 places he gave first. What is that? Dyutam means gambling. Panam means, see, Panam means what? Drinking. Alcohol and all that. Striyaha. Illicit association with women. Striyaha. Suna means animal slaughter. Okay. These were the 4. Yatra dharmas chaturvidhaha. See, Suta Goswami said Maharaj Parikshit, thus being petitioned by the personality of Kali, gave him permission to reside in places where gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter were performed. And then what happened? What's this? Kalipurusha said, no, I need one more place. Okay. He said, Punascha Yachamanaya. Okay. Yachamanaya means to again, he begged. He begged again. Punaha means to again. Jatarupam adat prabhu tato nritam madam kamam rajo vairam cha panchamam. So you see, what is that? The personality of God had asked for something more. And because of his begging, the king gave him permission to live where there is gold. Because wherever there is gold, there is also falsity, intoxication, lust, envy, and enmity. Just now we said, right, what is sinful? And Mataji, you mentioned these. What is that? Envy is there. Lust, enmity, cheating. Falsity means all cheating, lying. So apart from this, because what is the root of all of these is gold. This is the panchamam. What is the, see, gold means what? Jata Rupam. It's another meaning, another word for gold is Jata Rupam. So coming back to this, right? To do any sinful activities, first thing you need is money. The first thing is money. You don't, very poor person is there, nothing is there. He can't do much of the sins as a person who has money can do. The only sins he might do is maybe he'll go and cheat someone or thief, stealing something. Okay. But majority, if you see all of these things where Kalipurusha is given, for this you need money. Without that you cannot even do this. So basically money is your root. That is why here, Parikshit Maharaj is also saying, why? What is it? See, gold. Because wherever there is gold, what is there? See, tataha, whereby anritam. Anritam means falsehood, falsity, lying, cheating. Madam, intoxication. Kamam, lust. Rajaha, on account of the passionate mood. Then what happens? Vairam. Vairam means enmity. All of this you will get it when you have gold. When you have gold means in terms of like more money. Okay, gold also it is there, but that means Prabhuji, we know all the ladies we're all wearing gold, then automatically the Kali Purusha enters.
I just wanted to ask that only, Prabhuji, now.
That is understood.
You
I know that.
answered my question.
Yeah. If you go to Sri Rangam, right? Especially those very traditional old temples, they will not accept any jewelry to the Lord apart from gold. Even if you want to donate something, say a very high, because I did that when I went to Sri Rangam. Other temples used to accept when I give some jewelries, not gold, like imitation. We used to make Mataji's and Prabhuji's. We used to make beads, with pearl beads, glass beads. We used to make jewelries and all that. So we used to present it to the Lord. They said, no, Swamiji, we cannot accept it. It's that we only accept gold. Why? Gold is very pure. Very, very pure. Gold is very pure. That's why all the now it is not there, but previously every upacharas that were done to the Lord were in the gold pots, gold arati, plates, arati, that one, the one that we do arati, that one, to holder of agarbatti, everything is a gold because it's considered to be the most pure. It is then how come Kali Purusha is there? So when there is an excessive gold, too much of a gold, then Kali Purusha enters. And why did Parikshit Maharaj give that? Because he knows there are some sadhus, the devotees, guru, sadhu, shastra, guru. All the devotees, they will never worry about gold at all. Because for devotees, even a stone on the street and the gold is same. Okay, so required amount of gold is definitely required because that's how the stream must have the gold earrings. It is mentioned. Tali or the Mangal Sutra is also to be in gold. Okay, when in poverty, then you can have with what is that, dried turmeric and all that. But normally, it's suggested to have gold always. But when there is an excessive gold, then Kali Purusha enters. And when I mean excessive gold, it means excessive amount of money will lead to these things.
Like
And
Nita Ambani?
Anita Ambani, do they engage in this? I don't know.
No, Prabhuji.
I
As
didn't
of
know.
now, I don't think so.
I think they engage in intoxication and gambling. I heard.
Oh, okay.
Illicit, yes, they may not have it. We don't know publicly, we don't know. But
Uh-huh.
intoxication, I did hear. Like they do sometimes take alcohol and all that.
Oh.
Personally, I don't know about Nita Ambani. I have heard in Ambani family, they are
Mhm.
they are vegetarians.
Yeah.
Of them are vegetarians. They don't eat meat. But illicit, we know that if anything illicit comes publicly, it will come out like anything. But when you have money, right, there is high chances that illicit relations can take place. Why? When they don't have control over the senses. Just now, I think when Mataji, you mentioned that misusing the knowledge, or what is that word you said? What is that? I think I wrote it somewhere. That material knowledge that you mentioned is not properly utilized, right? That will happen when there is too much of money and the person does not know how to control the senses. If he has that control, then you don't need to worry. And where do you get the power to control the senses? Spiritual knowledge will give you. That's why we have, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, right? Baladev will actually give you the spiritual strength. He's the source of spiritual strength. Today we say, you do this, you do that, and all that. But he's the one who gives the bala, not to material bala, spiritual bala, spiritual strength he gives. Balaram gives it. So the root of all your sins is basically what? Money or the uh, gold or all those. And why do you get that much gold? Again, due to your punya. So if you see, punya is the root cause of your papa. So that is why we have to utilize knowledge. We need the knowledge how to utilize punya in such a way that I will not commit the papa again. Is this topic clear, Mataji? Any questions on this? Punya is actually root cause for your papa. Any doubts on this?
No doubt.
You clear, right? Okay.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Mhm.
So when we go to temple, we can see the beggars sitting outside. So if we don't put the money to the Mangalarti or any money into the temple, and we just help the beggars, so is it comes under punya or half punya, half papa, like that?
Okay, you're giving the money. If he does any illicit relations or any of meat eating, gambling, intoxication, even you are doing the papa. Okay,
Oh.
that is why charity, Krishna comes in Bhagavad Gita. I'll be covering that in detail. Charity is also in three modes: Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and Satvaguna. Okay.
So how can we know that they are utilizing our money in such a way?
Exactly. That is why we have to know it. Do not give charity without knowing to that person. That is sattvic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You must
Apatra dana.
patra. Look at the patra and then only do the dana. See, someone who's doing for name and fame, that is a Rajoguna charity. It is there in Bhagavad Gita 17th chapter. It comes. You can look at it. 17th and 14th chapter. Both these things it will come about Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Sorry. So actually, if you see, right, who is allowed to take the 1 minute? Let's see in the charity. I just not there in 17.
While you are searching, Prabhuji, I know one. In some of the temples, there is a they say whatever you put in the hundi or donation box, it should not be it should not be revealed. That is what some temples, I have seen some temples. They accept donation, but they don't want you to say how much you donated and what kind of donation you did and all that kind of stuff. But some of the temples we see, like, okay, they put your names, you donate this much money, we put your name and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, some of the temples I have seen, they don't accept
They don't reveal how much the
anything.
person has given and all that.
Yeah.
So just read this, Mataji. You will get the answer. Can you read this? Any Mataji who can read it? Oh, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I will read, Prabhu.
Yeah, go ahead.
Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place and to the worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness.
See, worthy person means patra. You have to look at whom you're giving it. Okay, go ahead. Next one.
But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitive result or in a grudging mood is said to be charity in the mode of passion.
So, name, fame, for name. So, Mataji, as you said, that in some temples, right, they want their name to be inscribed also. They will ask for that, that we are giving that. It's again all in charity of, in the charity which is in mode of passion, Rajoguna. Okay. Then read the last one.
And charity performed at an impure place, at an improper time, and unworthy persons, or without proper attention and respect, is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
So I'm just giving it some charity. Oh, you take, oh, poor people, low class people, with arrogance, without proper attention and respect. If someone is giving that, it is a tamoguna charity. Okay. But when it comes to the temples, temples are totally different because they are transcendental. They're above the material platform. Anyone who gives with knowing, without knowing, they are going to get the spiritual benefit, pious credits. They will get it when it comes to temple. So why some temples are doing it? You see, actually it is mentioned that when someone is doing the charity, actually, no, I'm not telling to the temples, okay? When you're giving it to some brahmana or someone outside, give in such a way that nobody knows, apart from your family members, because you are supposed to give the donation to a bona fide brahmana, okay? I'm very clear on this, a bona fide brahmana, not a brahmana bandhu. Okay, brahmana bandhu means a relative of a brahmana. No, he must be a bona fide brahmana. When a father is giving the charity, he must make sure that he's giving the charity through his children, because they will learn. And it is said, when father is giving the charity, he should keep his son next to him. When mother is serving the devotees or the brahmanas, she should keep his daughter next to her. See, nowadays, no, actually, when we do the Gurukul, there is a lot of difference between how we do Gurukuls in US and how do we do Gurukuls in India. In India, when Gurukuls are done, right, we ask the children, you please go and serve your own parents. We do that. Here in US, when I try to do, they'll be the first person to run to the counter, prasadam, for eating. I said, no, give some time, no, you serve your parents. The parents become angry. Oh, my son is hungry and you are not providing. It's very difficult here. But anyway, so then we left off. Okay, fine. Let your sons eat. That tapasya point, we are not teaching our children how to do tapasya. We are not making their children go on full fasting. No, just half an hour. You have to that's why tapasya is very important. So we teach that. We are supposed to teach that tapasya also. That is, everything is mode of goodness. Okay, so going back, one point I want to say is, when the someone is actually, okay, two things I want to tell Mataji here. When you are giving charity or some dana to a poor person, actually you are making him more poor. You know that?
How, Prabhu?
If that poor person is not in a position of a brahmana or something, so you know what will happen, I'll tell you. When you're giving money to anyone, right? That person who is receiving the money is also receiving your bad karma.
Oh.
He's going to receive your bad karma. So what will happen if you give it to the beggars outside? You want to elevate them, right? By giving the money, it is an immediate immediately they'll get some benefit, some money they will eat. But what is that one? Indirectly, you're transferring your karma to them.
Oh.
In that way, you are making them more poor. That means after this life, they have to suffer even more. That is why in our Shastras, it is clearly mentioned that give this donation only to someone who is wearing a sacred thread.
Okay.
That means the classes who are those? Where is it? Did I write? 1 minute. Wrong one. Okay. Where is it? Varna, Ashrama, Dharma. Did I explain? It's not here. Okay. Okay, I'll explain that later. That when is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishyas, they are allowed to take the donations. A Shudra or someone is not allowed to take the donation. Why? Because if they take, see, why the upper classes are allowed. Okay, when I say upper classes, not by money, by guna and karma. Okay, Krishna clearly says in Bhagavad Gita that he has created the four varnas based on the guna and karma, not by birth and not by how much money they have. Okay, it is clearly based on the guna, Brahmana guna, Kshatriya, and Vaishyas, right? They are allowed to take it because when they will wear the sacred thread when they get initiation from a proper guru, and they do Gayatri. Okay, and they will utilize that money in a proper way because they will have that knowledge how to utilize it. So you have to give, again, I said, Krishna said, no, based on the worthiness. Patra, you have to look at the patra. So it is mentioned that the upper classes of in our Varnashrama, they are allowed to take the donation. The lower classes are not allowed because they'll become more poor by taking it. Okay, when it comes to a devotee, it doesn't matter whether he's in low class or even dog eaters family. If a devotee is born, he is even above than Brahmanas. There are verses, Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni says. And I can give an example of Tiruppan Alvar, if you know. Just remind me next class, tomorrow's class, I will mention Tiruppan Alvar. He's born in the fifth, what is that? Classification of ashrama, not below Shudra, dog eaters family, Chandala actually. In that family he was born. But he became such a great person that Lord Ranganatha did not open the doors if he's not put, if his archakas, the people who are doing the puja, if that person does not carry the Tirupanalvar and do pradakshina to Srirangam temple 7 times, Ranganatha said, I'm not going to open the door. So tomorrow I will tell in detail. Okay. So you can give it to the devotees. You can give it to the, this thing, worthiness you have to see. Okay. So
Okay.
suppose now you're giving, suppose say donating to, doing prasadam distribution and all that. If I'm going to use that money and for my own purpose, I'll tell you how bad sin is that.
Yeah.
And in Shri Ramayana, this comes in Uttara Ramayana, specifically it comes that anyone who misuses the funds which is meant to a temple, and if that person misuses, oh, he's worst in all the other sins. Okay, so when you're giving that, you better look at the patra, then you give it. Otherwise, don't donate. No need to donate to the poor people there. Okay. What you can do is give them prasadam. No problem. Give as much as prasadam you want. Try giving them prasadam. They will say, no, 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 I don't want this. I want only money.
Yeah.
Then that is not a proper this thing. Because the moment they'll go there, okay, I'll tell you, I've seen it. I've seen it in Kali Yuga, no? So I've seen it in Ahobilam. I have seen it in many, many places. See, in Tirupati, I've seen it, for example, in if you have gone to Tirumala, there is a huge temple complex. What is that? Q complex.
Okay.
You have seen it? Have you gone through those?
Yeah. I have got.
Huge. Okay. Not now. I remember at least like when in early 2000s or something, when I used to go there along with my parents. That Q complex, outside of that, there will be one person holding the neck nerve of another small girl, right? And she will be acting like, what is it? Like physically handicapped. They are already physically and mentally handicapped. On top of that, he's holding the nerve, the nerve that goes from brain to your spine. If you crush that nerve, right, you will become mentally retarded,
Mhm.
crushing that right in front of us, and everybody's thinking, oh, they are so poor, no, let's give money and all.
Mhm. Okay.
What will happen with that? That means you're increasing his business. The moment you're donating it, you're
Mhm.
increasing his business more and more. And he's getting very good money.
Mhm.
Right after the darshan, I wanted to see that person again and all that. He's happily walking with a bag full of notes and coins.
Mhm.
And that poor girl is just very badly treated.
Ah.
So what will happen, so when you give donation, if you stop giving donation, you means not you, Mataji, I mean generally people.
Okay.
Yeah. When people will stop giving, he will not do that act again.
Yes, that's true, Prabhuji.
That's why, Shudras, as long as when you have the power in your body, you must work hard. If you start giving them freebies, they will not work. Classic example is there, in Manarega, if you know, in India, I'll tell you. And also, Narad Muni says too, specifically, he tells this to Pandavas when he comes. He asks Yudhishthira, are you, ruling properly? Are you giving any freebies like free money to poor people? He says that when there are poor people, don't give them free money. Okay, you give them the grains, suppose if they have, and give them some land. Let them use that grains and let them grow the field. Let them be there. You give that free thing. They need to work. You don't give them the free money.
Okay.
And this when Manareka, this program came in India in I think 10, 15 years ago, especially in my village, what had happened is all the people who are supposed to come and help, in doing the what is that, cultivation, right, of paddy, they stopped coming.
Mm.
Why? They are getting more money from the government if they go and dig some wells, dig some small patches. They'll go, they will just sit there under the tree whole day, and evening they'll just come back. And with that, what happened? There are no lack of resources, and we are not able to grow the fields and everything.
Mm.
The prices went up. We're not able to compete with that prices. All the agriculture is badly hit because of such programs. Narad Muni advised against it. So for Shudras, I mean for all the labor classes, okay, every labor class, it is mentioned that they must work hard. Okay, I'm again telling by guna, okay, not by birth. Okay, well, for Vaishyas, again, they can accept because they, first of all, they have to get initiated. They can accept some amount, but again, they must not intend to live only on begging. One time donation is fine, not always. Okay, they have to work hard. Similarly, Kshatriyas, similarly, Brahmanas. Brahmanas are how Brahmanas live is based on the donations. You can give it to them. Okay. Again, it has to be, I'm telling you, you must know which Brahmana you are giving. The Patra
Okay.
is very, very important. Like I have recently visited one temple, and there the pujari wasn't there. Okay.
Mhm.
And I was asking my cousin, okay, what happened? Why he's not there? We're staying and all. He said he's busy with his second setup and third setup. To such brahmanas, just because the person is wearing a brahmanical thread doesn't mean he's acting in that way. Okay, you have to be very, very careful. Otherwise, you'll be, you will be responsible for the sins. Already, we are suffering, Mataji. We are all suffering because of the sins. We don't want any more new sins, right?
Yeah, correct.
With whatever money we get, we have to do the correct deeds. Okay. Yeah, I'll
But
stop.
how
Hmm.
can we know that, Prabhu, like we are donating it to the right person and he's using it in the right way? How
Okay.
can we do that?
So first is you have to know that person. Okay. Without, as Krishna says, without knowing, don't give.
Okay.
You have to know that person. Without knowing, you don't give. How will you know that person is bona fide or not? I told you the bona fide sampradayas.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who is perfectly following that sampradayas, perfectly following. You should know. Do not give money without knowing. How will you know? Someone who is following the four sampradayas. That's it. What is that? Four sampradayas. Here.
Sri
Uh,
Sampradaya,
Shri Sampradaya, then
Brahma Sampradaya,
Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and
Sampradaya,
Kumara Sampradaya.
Kumara Sampradaya.
Okay, it is very, very important that, see, if someone, okay, have you heard of this lady called Santoshi Mata?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Have you heard of it?
Ganesha's daughter.
Huh?
Ganesha's daughter.
Okay. Is it there in our Puranas?
No.
Actually, it is not there. I do not know about the Ganesha's daughter, because this Santoshi Mata I'm talking about is a serial in 1995s onwards.
Mm.
In that serial, the director himself agreed that he has, no, kalpita, that kalpana, by kalpana he has done it. He has speculated his own stories on Santoshi, and he created that character with all different stories. So if someone is really, you wanted to go in the demigods like Ganesha, you have the Shankara Mathas. Shankaracharya Mathas have established. Learn from them who is the actual demigod, who is not actually the demigod. We have to learn. Okay. Then once you know, then you give the donation. Without knowing, without doing anything, they'll create one new, um, see, like the Fisherman's Cove, if you know, in Chennai, I have seen it. They will have their, what is it? Their group, no? They will live very close to the beach, and they started they got some deity and they established some temple, then they named it some deity. You cannot do like that. You have to make sure that it is as per the Puranas, the Shastras, everything should be there. So it's very important that that person is in the four sampradayas. Okay, the four sampradayas. And I mentioned Shankaracharya also comes in that sampradaya. Okay, he is Rudra himself, he is Shiva himself. So if Shankaracharya is not saying, if none of the four, like the Madhva or Vishnu Swami, Ramanujacharya, Nimbarkacharya, they're not saying it, then don't consider giving any donation. So it's very important you see that.
Prabhuji, in India, actually, I'm talking like 8 years back. When we are going by auto or by car in the street, the transgenders will ask for money. If we don't give, they will curse. So that
Okay, I'll tell you that one also. See, how do you think the power to a person comes? How the one person, if you say, see, to curse someone, he must have the power.
okay.
If that person doesn't have the power, he will not get the, sorry, if he cannot curse if he doesn't have the power.
But the transgenders will have that much power, I heard, because
How?
like they are not even boy or girl, so they have that power. The God has given that power, I heard somewhere. So
That's what even I also heard, Mataji, that they have got special powers. But first,
uh,
see, transgenders, what are they basically? What are the different types of transgenders? Is male born, right? But
okay.
he likes men. So they change their body into that, kind of a female. And if they maintain that, I'll tell you when you can be powerful, Mataji.
Hmm.
um, how do I say this? Okay, this is one concept in brahmacharya also, and all of you are adults, so I'm just telling it out that in the brahmacharya ashrama, it is mentioned that the person should not let his semen out. Okay, when the person does not leave the semen out, he becomes very powerful, very, very powerful. So why we say that transgenders may have the powerful, this is only one kind of a speculation, is
Mhm.
that when they do not like, normally no men would like to have a relationship with a transgender.
Mhm.
Okay, so and it is not allowed to to leave to release a semen just like that. So when they keep that as it is,
Mhm.
that means they become powerful. Okay, but do you think that's the case happening? All of the transgenders, they have illicit relations. Just look at in YouTube itself, you'll find that all these transgenders, especially there is one day it seems.
Mhm.
On that day, that businessman was telling me, I was shocked. It's there on YouTube podcast that
Mhm.
these businessmen enjoy with the transgender on that particular day.
Oh.
Gross, so gross it is. So I told you, that when you're doing illicit relations, it's one of the sinful activity.
Mhm.
So when you commit sinful activities, how the power will be there? There will be no power. See, what is the power of a person? See, I'll tell you that when you speak truth, Mataji, when you only speak truth, you will gain power. When you speak lies, there is no power.
Okay.
Okay. Like that, if that gender, you see, transgenders are also there in our community. Okay, they are not disregarded at all.
Mhm.
They are not disregarded. It is mentioned why transgenders are born. If see, we all do the 16 samskaras. Have you heard of this samskaras?
Yeah.
It's all we. It is so unfortunate that we don't know a lot of these things. In these samskaras, what are the some, there are 16 numbers. What are those? Tell me one samskara name. What is this? Tell me, there are 16 samskaras for a person whom we have to do. I'll just mention everything. What are they?
Like Namakarana when the
Correct.
child born. Namakarana when the child born.
Namakarana. Then
Like in the pregnancy 7th month, Simanta in the pregnancy they will
Himanta Noyana. Correct.
uh,
Himanta Noyana.
Upanayana.
Okay.
Abhyasa.
Marriage.
Exactly. Marriage. Right. Let me, how do I say? 1 minute. Namakarana. Aksharabhyasa is also there.
Yeah. Aksharabhyasa.
Then Upanayana.
Upanayana. Uh, if the
Vivaha.
girl baby is there, so when she get her menstrual cycle first time, they will do some puja.
No, that is not a part of samskara.
That is not okay.
No, that's not samskara. Because the moment the girl becomes mature, normally the marriage samskara is done immediately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are the
Kanyadana.
Kanyadana? That is
Kanyadana.
Vivaha.
Yeah.
Okay, then the last one I'll tell you is Antyeshti. Antyeshti means when a person dies.
Prabhuji, one more is there Shashti Purti, that is not comes under
No,
samskara.
that's not a samskara. No.
Okay.
What are the other samskaras?
First haircut for a baby.
Yes. What is it called?
We call it as Chaula.
Shaula. Okay. It's called Chudakarana.
Chudakarna.
Hmm?
Annaprashna.
Annaprasana. Very good. Annaprasana. Then numbers won't come. Okay. Then Karana Veda. Okay, that you
Ear piercing.
So
ear
ear piercing, yeah.
Karana Veda. Then okay, Nishkramana. Nishkramana means when the baby is first brought outside into the sunlight. Okay, Namakarana I've added. Jata Karma, something called as Jata Karma, that is also done. Okay, Jata Karma. Okay, then in the womb itself, we do Simantanoyana, right? Before Simantanoyana, something else is done, which is, oh my, the numbers doesn't come. Okay. It's called Pumsavana. Pumsavana is, this is one of the rituals that is done. How many? 8, right? Oh, Vivaha, Antyeshti. 2 more are there. Chodakarana, Karana Veda, Upanayana, Samavarta. Okay. Samavarta. So, one more is there, Mataji. There's one more. Okay. Anyways, we do this, right? Antyeshti as basically is supposed to be the last one. Oh, one Vivaha. This one, say this. Okay. Antyeshti. And before Antyeshti, it is a Vivaha Karma which is done. Okay. By the time a marriage to a person is done, already marriage is the 15th samskara in your life. The 16th samskara is Antyeshti. Okay. Because why? After the marriage, for his sons or daughters, they have to do the same thing. For every pregnancy, they have to do the same thing. Right? But what is the very first samskara, you know? Very first samskara. Except that, everything sometimes we do. Do you know what is first samskara?
Garbhadana.
Yes, Garbhadana samskara. The pujari who gets the bride and groom married, he's supposed to tell you this. Okay, and normally he's a person who does this. Garbhadana samskara. That means the conception of a person, right, in the womb of the mother. That is Garbhadana. In Garbhadana samskara, if you look closely into that, it is mentioned that at a particular time of, you know, after the menstrual cycle starts, when the man and the female, they mate on the 13th or the 4th, no, 13th or 12th day, odd day, one of the odd day when they mate, it is said that there is a high probability that a transgender will be born. A very high probability. It is mentioned when they mate on a 8th or 9th day, high probability that a prostitute will be born. We don't know any of those things. So it is mentioned, they're mentioned in Shastras, they're born like that. And you cannot ignore them. You cannot ignore the transgenders. You cannot ignore the prostitutes. They also have to be accompanied in the social system. But they cannot be rampant everywhere. Otherwise, they'll disturb everybody. Okay. So it is mentioned that because the transgenders can neither live in the society of women nor in the society of men. They needs to have a separate society. They needs to be given, you know, proper their karma also have to be defined. You know, there are certain karmas that they can take into the professions of a dance. They can sometimes take a various professions, like even in wars, they can take the profession in the war, in fighting, because they have the body of a male, so they are not naturally strong. Physically they are strong than women, and that's why we have two sets of sports games, no, like the male tennis and the female tennis, right? So because men are naturally physically strong, they are allowed in wars, in different things. They have some categories which are mentioned, and in all of those categories it is mentioned that they cannot again mix up with men or physically with men or women. They cannot do that, so they remain brahmacharya, so they become powerful. But if they do not follow that, then, and again, transgenders should not beg. I told you, right? Who can beg? The persons who can handle your karma. You are giving some money, right? The person who is receiving the money from you, he should be able to handle your karma. Such people are allowed to take donations. Otherwise, their life will be even more, difficult, full of problems in their next life. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? I will just note it down so that next time we can. Something I asked you to remind me. What was that? To tell what was that, Harini? Oh, Sri Rangam, Tirupanalvar. Yeah, Tirupanalvar. Tomorrow, the first thing I'll talk about him. Okay. Any questions or any doubts?
No, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, yeah, one more thing, because we spoke about the Garbhadhana. In Garbhadhana Sanskara, it is mentioned that when it's perfectly performed, when both wife and husband are very celibate, they do the Madhvacharya, right? Madhvacharya's parents, they were performing the celibacy for 12 years. Then, they did this Garbhadhana Samskara, that because in Garbhadhana Samskara, there is a period where they do some vratam. Okay, that vratam can be for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. So like Madhvacharya's parents did for 12 years. And that is why such great personality is born. Okay, so in there it is mentioned that you can actually decide 90%, you can decide the gender of the child you want. It's clearly mentioned. When they perform the vratas like that, the parents and the mother and father can decide what gender they want. It does not happen just like as a chance. No, it's clearly mentioned, very deep, that before they conceived, the breathing of the husband and the breathing of the wife, if the breathing happens to the left nostril, then the high chances of a female. If the breathing happens to the right nostril, high chances of male. It's all there. Why I'm saying 90%? Because again, 10% there is a karma effect is there. So although we do exactly like I want a male child when I try to do it, but still I get a female, is because again the karma. That's why 10% is karma. 90% if someone does it, they get it. They get that. They can decide the gender of the child. Okay. All right. Thank you. So we will just do Hare Krishna mantra 3 times. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you.